Be authentic to who you are. That's what it comes down to. Like, you're not crazy, you're not broken, you're not something that needs to be fixed just because you're not like everybody else, right? Maybe you're not like everybody else because you have a gift that they don't have. So that's something to consider as well. And I've found that to be the case more than not when it comes to listening to critiques or judgment or advice from other people. Okay, I'm me, the recipe is the recipe, and it is what it is.
There's two people, the man who thinks they can and the man who thinks they can't, and they're both right.
Do what your future self wants to have done. And if you can't conceptualize your future self, you are currently the future self to your past. Your life is a product of your past decisions, and right now is a pretty dang good opportunity to make the decisions that'll leave you gratified instead of devastated years from now. The crazy thing is you'll become this future self one day at a time, but somehow years are going to pass. And if you spend those years outsourcing pain to your later self, you'll be wishing you could come back to right now to face what needs to be faced.
We're not men because we face the battle and we get immediately victory every time a battle comes up. We're men because we face the battle and we stay in the battle when we feel like we're losing and we feel like we're getting beat up. But we stay in there. And we keep fighting, and we plant our feet, and we say, until death do I part.
Rather than trying to impress people who don't give a shit about you, just start impressing the next 2.0 version of yourself. Like, what would the next highest, most stoic version of you be impressed by today? Would it be impressed by the fact that you're going to bed earlier? That you're waking up and getting your workout in, that you're eating right, that you're reading, 5, 10, 15 pages out of a book every day? Would it be impressed by the fact that you're no longer on social media as much as you are? What would the future self be impressed by?
People's opinion of you is none of your business, nor should you make it yours. You get in a lot of trouble worrying about what somebody think about you, when really, what difference do it make? The majority of people who have a negative viewpoint of you really don't even know you.
What do you do when the people closest to you don't support your growth? And the main reason they don't support it is because you're killing off the person they love. Think about that, like you're changing who you are and they're comfortable with who you are and they feel that's their reality too, is caught up in who you are being. So when you decide to change, you're killing off their buddy or their whatever, and you're screwing up their reality because you fit into theirs.
Winners are people that everything that they do, all the habits that they instill are the habits of a winner. A winner isn't a final product. A winner is a lifestyle. A winner is a concurrent set of actions that lead you to a final destination. Same way is for losers. Usually losers inhibit behaviors of losing people, who they hang out with, what they eat, what they listen to, what they consume on a regular basis, how they think about themselves, how they view the world.
Everyone's hypercritical and terrified to do anything and put themselves out there and fail. So we hyperanalyze, hypercriticize, become paralyzed, and end up doing nothing, sitting in our basements, watching TikToks of other people's lives, pretending that they're happy. I was having one of those cynical days and felt like ranting a little. But honestly, there's optimism here for some low barrier of entry personal growth. Stop analyzing, stop criticizing both yourself and others, and go fail at something. Go give someone a good job for sucking at something, because at least they're trying. Maybe we'll even give yourself permission to do the same. We find meaning in trying difficult things, not just in succeeding at them.
People who are successful look at the clock and they believe that every day is a race against that clock. How much can they get done before they can't work anymore, before they have to go home? And so that clock is an enemy, and they race against the enemy. They want to do lots of stuff, and they'll come in earlier, and they'll work at lunchtimes, and they'll stay later, and they'll come in on the weekends because they want to cover more ground. Well, 80% of people have a different attitude toward the clock. The clock is the enemy as well, but the clock tells you when you have to start. And so you find successful people see the clock differently. They say TCD time as an opportunity to contribute more value. Unsuccessful people see the clock as the indicator of when they can stop working.
Who wants to speed up success? I do. I want to get there faster. All right, so how do you do it? Are you ready? Total immersion. Only one way. Become a freak. I need you to know that the stuff that you want, millions of people want the same thing you want and will never get it. So why, you, and how? Total immersion. Guys, I want to crack you open and I want to see that you're crazy, because only crazy people make it. Dive into something with more passion, with more dedication than you have ever done in your entire life.
It's all about the mental approach that you have with life, and people not understanding that your biggest enemy is you. You battling yourself. People don't understand it's you against you. The only person that gets in your way is you. Nobody else. It's you.
Your urgency level will dictate what you're willing to tolerate. Your urgency level will always dictate what you're willing to tolerate. Your urgency level for success will always dictate what you're willing to tolerate. Your urgency level for greatness will always dictate what you're willing to tolerate. Your urgency level for the person that you're striving to become will always dictate what you're willing to tolerate. If you got an urgency level to want to do something, it's certain environments that you don't even go into. It's certain dialogue that you don't even entertain. It's certain people that you don't even hang around. It's certain things that you don't even do. It's certain things that you don't even eat. It's certain places that you're not even willing to go. Your urgency level will always dictate what you're willing to tolerate. You can say it all day, but if you ain't got no urgency for it, I don't believe it.
You can choose right now to become the kind of person that is going to invest all of their time, all of their resources, all of their energy into becoming the person that lives the ideal vision that you have for your life. And it's going to be hard. You're going to have to make investments that other people your age and your position are not going to be making. And they're going to judge you, and they're going to make fun of you, and they're going to laugh at you. But in the end, you get a reward. You get to live a life that others can't. You get to do things they can't. You get to become things they won't. You get to make impacts they don't. Your entire existence will be a reward for the effort that you put in on the front end. Is it going to be painful now with a reward later, or is it going to be fun now with pain later?
When you really think about this for a second, everything that you've ever wanted is on the other side of one thing, and that's work. Work is the only thing that is standing between where you are now and who you want to be. So listen, you can sit here and you can lie to both you and I and say that I'm busy, but we both know you have that time. So just get back to work.
May have been fooled, because sometimes it's more convenient to say you can cast your power onto this thing that happened that was outside of your control as the reason why you can't be successful, because it's easier to say that than to say that I chose not to do anything about it anyways. And again, listen, you can do whatever you want. You can just keep wallowing in that. You can keep saying that that's the reason, and wherever you point is where your power is. But the only time that you have more power is if you say it's on you, because all of those things may have happened and they may have all been terrible. What are you gonna do about it? Like, no one cares. Like, the world doesn't care. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you can start doing something about it.
Money makes you different. And you know what different does? It scares people. Different scares people. It really, really does.
But I knew for me to grow, I had to do this thing every single day. I wanted to start callousing my mind. I wanted to start becoming a better person. And how you become a better person, how you gain mental toughness, how you become the person you want to be, is constantly facing the things that you don't want to face. If you constantly run away from things that you don't want to face, how is there growth?